So today I'm going to show you guys how to bead a Black Widow themed keychain. Obviously the colors in this one are off because I was just using up beads that I had, but you can use the actual red and black to make yours. Once you figure out how to use a beading grid, which I'll show you in a few minutes, you can do almost any shape you want. Circles are a little bit hard, but other than that you can do pretty much any shape with beads, so you can do any of the Avengers symbols that you want. So you want to start by drawing or downloading the beading grid. Each square represents one bead. So you want to get yourself some beading wire and some beads. These are from Beebeecraft. And on the bottom row there's 15 white beads, white squares, so those are 15 white beads. So put those on your wire. And you're just going to kind of leave those sit there. And then on the next row there's one white bead, 13 black beads, and another white bead. So in my case I'm using gray, but so I put those on, and you want to leave a gap between that row and the first row you made. So then you're just going to take the other side of the wire, the side that you didn't put the beads on, and you're going to run that through all those beads that you just put on, so that you end up with wires going through that line of beads from either side. This is the first one, so this will be the hardest one, but pull both the wires up tight so that that row of beads settles right down on the one below it. Just pull it up tight so the wires go through both sides of the beads, and you pull it up tight. Just like that. I'm going to scrunch them a little bit. So then the next row there's 2 white beads, 1 black bead, 11 red beads, 1 black bead, and 2 more white beads. So you put those on one side of your wire. And then you do the same thing again, taking the other side and running it through all those beads, so that you end up with wire going through the beads from either side. This one will be easier. The first one's always the hardest, so this one will actually be easier. Then do the same thing, just pull it up tight so it settles down on the other 2 rows. And then you'll just keep going, following the beading graph all the way up. And if you run out of wire, if one of your wires gets too short, just take the stub, you fold it around itself, and just kind of weave it through the beadwork and the wires. There'll be all the little wires on the side. Just weave the stub through those to get it out of the way. And then you'll take a fresh piece of wire. You'll just put the end of that through one of the other wires through the beadwork, and then just twist it. It gives it a nice tight hold, and then you just use it just like it was all one piece of wire. So once you get to the end, take one side of the wires, one of the wires coming out either end there, and just weave it through the edges like you do with the wire stubs. And then the other side you're going to bend across, but first put some beads on it, just like that, and then bend it across and weave the open wire part through the wires or the beadwork on the sides. So you've got a little loop at the top of your keychain, just like that. And then take yourself a keyring and just wind that right around that loop. And then you've got your little keychain ready for your keys.